Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to THS 8103 and Nursing 8452. Hope you're all having a good week, and I hope you had a good weekend. I want to spend some time talking about where we are in the course and preparing for your next group activity, which is coming up quickly, and you will be preparing for your final assignment, which is assignment 3. So let me first go to where we are in the weeks. As you know, last week in session 10 and 11, we started to look at the idea of convergence research and the different areas in which convergence research encompasses a cross-disciplinary approach, which you know a lot about at this point, and targeting on social impact. What is the impact of the research that we do in teams? And I've given you here, as I told you before, both some reading to do from the theoretical literature and then also some more specific research that you might want to look into as you consider how you put together this plan for convergence research that is due for your final assignment. So now that we're into the next week's, pardon me while I scroll around here, weeks 12 coming up in this upcoming session. We'll be looking more so at stakeholder engagement and the engagement of stakeholder communities and the idea, and the idea of team formation and what goes into that. These are the third and fourth components of convergence research. The reason why we took 2 weeks for the first two was to give you a little time to finish up your other assignment that is due this week, and that is your team observation that's due on Wednesday. That's your short paper, 5 to 7 pages, and we're looking forward to reading those. But while we're finishing up that, I wanted to introduce you to the details of assignment 3. So if you go to assignment 3 and go to the assignment tab and scroll all the way down, you'll know that assignment 3 is constructing a team design for research. You are assigned to small groups, which you have been working in, and you will be creating a voice thread presentation. Each student will also provide feedback to 2 other groups' presentations. So these will be the presentations you post onto the discussion board. So after your team is done with your presentation, you're going to go back and view 2 other groups' presentations and provide some feedback or some insights. So you will be using a knowledge producing team case scenario. Those of you who are in THS 8103, you're using the case scenario that you've been working on in other courses. You're going to provide a review of how team science principles studied in the class are germane to the work of the team in the scenario. You can choose from a variety of materials that we've discussed throughout the course to include into that area. And you're going to draw on the 5 components of what convergence research are. Cross-disciplinary approach, target on social impact, engagement of stakeholder community, and team formation, and potential and the requirements for change. And you're going to provide an assessment and recommendations about how your scenario might be better positioned to achieve a convergence outlook to research. You're going to provide a plan for team development that would emphasize cross-disciplinary team science in the context of convergence research principles that we're studying right now, and be specific how you might utilize measurement techniques as well as theoretical material in your plan. Lastly, and this is what I want to focus on today, you will be taking the individual and team performance assessment. And there is the link to it. And you're going to use the results from this assessment to provide an overview of how your team was able to leverage your strengths, but may also have been challenged by certain individual and team dynamics. When I've had classes do this assessment before, they've really found it enjoyable because it gives an opportunity to give a peer, do a self-assessment and also a peer assessment of your team members as they work on this project with you. So just to give you an overview of the ITP, you can go to the link and this is what you'll find. You can learn about the group that has designed this. You can learn a little bit about the assessments that they have in the suite of assessments and also resources about it. When you take the ITP, let me just go here. Not a good place to go. Let me go back. There we go. You can learn about the different assessments and a little bit about how this tool works. When you take it, and I'll explain to you how you're going to get access to it, you're ultimately going to receive an report for each one of you, each individual. And I'm going to go quickly into what this report is going to provide you with. So it's going to be based on 5 teamwork competencies that are identified by the creators, which is commitment, communication, capabilities, standards, and focus. These 5 teamwork competencies are going to be measured by you, yourself, your peer review, and also your individual review, and the review that you provide your peers. So it also provides some interesting materials in the report to show you how you could supposedly continue to work with this team and how you could become a more effective team. So let me just give you a quick summary of what you'll find. Here you'll see that the 5 areas of teamwork, and you'll see a report that shows your peer rating and your self rating and where you fit. And it'll tell you a little bit about each one of those dimensions. And it'll break down each dimension based on the score. So the person who took this, for instance, self-rated their own commitment level to moderate, though their team members rated them at a 4.5. And you can read about what the importance of that is. And you can also take the opportunity to write one specific actionable and measurable development goal to work toward that will help you to improve or maintain your score on this teamwork competency. As you decide, as you all take this assessment, you can work on deciding what would be both individual and possibly team goals for the future. Other areas, communication, you'll see the same thing over and over again, capabilities, focus, and standards. There's also be information that will be provided from a qualitative standpoint. And you can use this information to include into your presentation, your voice thread, for assignment 3, how these results help you understand better the performance of your team. This is only one of very many different performance metrics we wanted to put into this class, one that you could use on a team that you're working on in this class to give you an idea of one way that performance metrics can be measured. I know students in the past have really enjoyed taking this assessment, and they found it helpful in, they found it helpful in considering how well their team worked with some very low level but interesting metrics related to their teamwork. Sorry. sorry for moving around so much. Let me go back to assignments. So in assignment 3, you're going to take that information, and I ask that the VoiceThread presentations are no longer than 20 minutes long. Everyone in the group must participate in presentation, but everyone is not required to actually present. You can delegate one person, to talk through the presentation. Everyone doesn't need to get their voices on there. Though if you want to do that, you can. And in VoiceThread, you'll see it's very easy to do that. Uh, and only one member of the group needs to post to the gradebook your 8103 or the combined gradebook. Only one person needs to post the voice thread so that either Dr. Lee or I can access it and review it for your grade. Everyone in the group will receive the same grade for the presentation, which is something I always get a lot of questions about. And of course, the rubric for this assignment is down below. So I know now we are finishing up your papers that are due on Wednesday. And once you get those in, Dr. Lee and I will start to take a look at those papers. But starting this week, starting on Thursday, you will be able to move forward on this last assignment. And I will also have the ITP ready for you to access. You will receive an invitation to access the ITP. And of course, you're not going to be taking it until your work is almost wrapped up in this team that is providing an assignment for assignment 3. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. And we look forward to both reading your assignment 2, and we look forward to seeing how you do with the convergence research material and providing a plan for future teamwork in the area of interest. Have a great week and take care. Bye-bye.